पण होय, या उभ्या महाराष्ट्राला माहिती आहे सिंह कोण आहे आणि वाघ कोण आहे. वाघ सिंहाची जोडी या ठिकाणी एकत्रित आहे.
बोले आपले बरोबर आहेत. अरे कुठल्या कोणाचे? आता इकडे कलाकार बसले, त्यांनी कोणाचे फोडले का माहीतच नाही. दादांना मी धन्यवाद देतो. ते तर सकाळी 7ला 8ला यायच्या मंत्रालयामध्ये त्यांच्या बैठका सुरू होत्या.
उनके लोकप्रियता की डंका तो अपने देश में तो बजा रहे हम सब, लेकिन दुनिया में दावोस में भी उनके नाम की डंका सुनाई पड़ रही है.
मीडिया में आपने कभी सुना है कि महाराष्ट्र में किसानों का कर्जा माफ नहीं हुआ ना? आप जाइए, पूना जाइए, किसी भी फैक्ट्री में चले जाइए, पूछिए मेक इन इंडिया कैसा चल रहा है. खत्म, बाय बाय, टाटा, गुड बाय, गया.
20th November 2019, the day that proved Maharashtra to be the irony of democratic India. Honestly, that day deserves the record of being the most undemocratic day of our country's history. I'm filming this video on 19th November, one day prior to the state government election of Maharashtra, and this matters because my state and my people haven't been given a fair election for more than 5 years now. Every time we elected someone to power, someone else came and sat on the seats of Vidhan Sabha. If you're someone who lives in the great state of Maharashtra, this video will change the way you look at the politics of this state. And if you're someone from outside the state, then you'll understand some very critical factors about the state that houses India's richest city, Mumbai. Also, Maharashtra politics is no different than the kind of stuff you watch on Netflix and Amazon Prime. And trust me when I say this story is hilarious. Now, before we start the Maharashtra politics drama, there is some background to be known. Feel free to skip to this part if you already know who the characters of this story are. The story starts in 2019 and it begins with 4 political parties and a few characters, and the story ends with 6 political parties. We start off with Mr. Devendra Fadnavis, a senior BJP leader and the incumbent chief minister of Maharashtra back in 2019. He was one of the only 2 people who have completed a 5-year term in this state. Otherwise, every single chief minister that this state has had hasn't been able to complete that 5-year term. The city of Mumbai promises opportunity not only for people but for politicians as well, and hence this state has been rife with political instability since forever. At the beginning of the story, the number one concern for Mr. Fadnavis was another election victory. Then we have Mr. Uddhav Thackeray of the Shiv Sena, a political party that is now split into 2 factions. One of these factions being led by Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, it's called the Shiv Sena UBT. And then we have Mr. Eknath Shinde, a 4-time MLA from the state of Maharashtra who leads the other faction of Shiv Sena, which is called Balasahebanchi Shiv Sena. And then we have Sharad Pawar, a career politician from the state of Maharashtra who's been elected to various roles since 1967, both at center and state level. He established a party called the NCP, the Nationalist Congress Party, which is also now split into 2 parts. One party called the NCP Sharad Chandra Pawar, which is led by him, and the other party called the NCP, which is led by his nephew Ajit Dada Pawar. The Indian National Congress plays a supporting role in this story, and the story begins with the BJP, the Shiv Sena, the Nationalist Congress Party or NCP, and the Indian National Congress. And the story ends with 6 political parties where Shiv Sena and NCP split into 2 factions each. Now the story begins. In order to win an election in Maharashtra, you need 145 out of the 288 seats in Vidhan Sabha. In 2019, the BJP and the Shiv Sena formed an alliance and contested the elections together with Devendra Fadnavis as the chief minister candidate. And the story so far has a happy ending, or so you'd think. They win the election. The BJP wins 105 seats while Shiv Sena wins 56 seats, well above the 145 that is needed to form a majority. And this alliance also made perfect sense because both the parties followed Hindutva politics, which was an ideology that focused on the issues faced by the Hindu majority of India. For both the parties, the idea was simple: ally with a political party that thinks similar to you and form a government. But this plan only stayed true up until the election. As soon as each party got their respective seats, both of them had other things in mind. The BJP stated that Devendra Fadnavis would be the only chief ministerial candidate and he would be in power for the next 5 years. However, Shiv Sena said that the BJP had made a promise to them that there would be equal power sharing for the upcoming 5 years, meaning Devendra Fadnavis would retain power for 2.5 years while the other 2.5 years would be led by a Shiv Sena candidate. The BJP said that it never made such a promise and both the parties came to a stalemate. So an alliance was formed in order to win an election. The election was also won to form a coalition, but the coalition was never formed. Now this is when something straight out of a web series happened. Devendra Fadnavis fought the election campaigning against Ajit Dada Pawar of the NCP. Much of Devendra Fadnavis's campaign talked about the controversial work done by Ajit Pawar. How controversial, you ask? Well, Ajit Pawar was the irrigation minister of the state of Maharashtra, and during this point there was a 70,000 crore rupee scam that happened. He was named prime suspect in this scam when a bureaucrat named Vijay Pandare blew the whistle. Data came out alleging misuse of funds north of $8 billion rupees, whereas the actual irrigation percentage in Maharashtra only grew by 0.1%. Such events were central to the BJP's campaign in 2019. Not only this, Ajit Dada's career was ridden with controversy, and the BJP capitalized on this. When activists were protesting by fasting for more than 55 days due to the government's inability to provide water during the drought-stricken summer of Maharashtra, Ajit Dada asked the protesters whether he should fill the reservoirs by urinating in them.
पाणीच नाही तर काय सोडता काय मुद्दा का तिथं पाणी प्यायला मिळणार त्याच्यामुळे लघवी पण होईना.
The BJP's 2019 campaign focused extensively on these issues. However, when the party failed to reach consensus with the Shiv Sena, they were quick to switch sides. Devendra Fadnavis allied with NCP's Ajit Pawar and formed a new government.
अजितदादा पवार आहेत
जे आता तुमच्या बरोबर आहे.
आता आमच्या सोबत आहेत. अजून 2-3 आहेत. काळजी करू नका.
Ajit Pawar, along with a few MLAs from the NCP government, came together with the BJP to form a new BJP-NCP coalition, and Devendra Fadnavis took oath for the second time as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. And during this period, his deputy Chief Minister was Ajit Dada Pawar.
मी देवेंद्र गंगाधरराव फडणवीस विधानसभेचा सदस्य म्हणून निवडून आलो असल्याने ईश्वर साक्ष शपथ घेतो की
However, this was also a historic moment for Maharashtra because Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar both only kept their Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister seat for 5 days. At the time, Ajit Pawar was part of the NCP and the party was headed by his uncle Sharad Pawar. And he called his nephew out and said that we do not support these actions and the party does not support this coalition. And this is when the few MLAs that had supported Ajit Pawar backed off and Devendra Fadnavis was unable to form a majority in Maharashtra's Vidhan Sabha. For the first time ever, even if it was just for 5 days, the state voted someone to power and someone else sat on the seat. Many voters voted for their own constituencies' Shiv Sena candidate, hoping that a BJP Shiv Sena coalition would come to power, but they were seeing a BJP NCP coalition come to power. And the other side of the story was also no different. The Shiv Sena wanted Uddhav Thackeray to be the chief minister, someone who has never been elected to power. The party only wanted him to be the chief minister because the party had won a bunch of seats and the party's president was Uddhav Thackeray. Now, a little bit of history about the Shiv Sena needs to be understood in order to understand the next part of the story, which involves even more drama. Back in 1966, the Shiv Sena was established by Uddhav Thackeray's father, Balasaheb Thackeray, someone that the entire state looks up to. He was a true revolutionary in every sense of the word. He connected with people at the grassroots level. He embodied activism. If he called for a protest, every single person from the state would be on the street. Unlike most modern politicians that travel in large convoys and block signals for hours, Balasaheb was someone who would fearlessly go out in public and connect with his own people. The Shiv Sena at the time gained a lot of popularity because of its Marathi first policy. They argued that every single resident of Maharashtra, someone who was born in that state, deserves the first preference when it came to opportunities.
मुझे लगा कभी ऐसा कोई बात हम मेरे हिंदुत्व के विचार में और कोई मेरी जो भूमिका है इसमें कोई बदलाव आ रहा है और आया होगा तो बताइए.
Mumbai has forever been a city with a lot of migration, so Balasaheb Thackeray was someone who said that Marathi people and the people who were born in this city and this state deserve the first preference when it came to opportunities. Eventually, the Shiv Sena also broadened its policies and moved towards Hindutva politics, and even back in the day, the Shiv Sena and BJP allied. The alliance that you saw in 2019 was not new. BJP is one of Shiv Sena's oldest allies. So up until 2019, the Shiv Sena was also a predominantly Hindu-focused party, which naturally meant that they would never ally with a party like the Indian National Congress or the NCP, which are both socialist, left-leaning parties. However, in 2019, Uddhav Thackeray did the unthinkable. The Shiv Sena allied with the Indian National Congress and the NCP, and they were able to form a new coalition called the Mahavikas Aghadi. Important portfolios were given to each MLA of the three parties, and Uddhav Thackeray for the first time ever became the Chief Minister of Maharashtra without ever winning an election. Yet again, for the second time, my state got a leader that they never voted for. And what happens next will blow your mind. You remember Ajit Pawar? It did not take him long to switch sides once again. This time around, he also allied with the Shiv Sena with his own party's support, and he became the Deputy Chief Minister once again. In less than a month, Ajit Dada became the Deputy Chief Minister twice. More importantly, he switched his ideologies twice. Now, the Shiv Sena, the Indian National Congress and the NCP formed a shaky coalition. Their entire 2 to 3 odd year term was riddled with controversy. To tell you the truth, it was also a bit unfair to them. As soon as they came to power, the pandemic along with all of its restrictions hit the country and the government wasn't able to do any real work.
हर केंद्र शासित प्रदेश को, हर जिले, हर गांव, हर कस्बे, हर गली मोहल्ले को अब लॉकडाउन किया जा रहा है.
Even though fate was on Uddhav Thackeray's side, the day he became chief minister, it did not side with him throughout his term. Every time there was some other issue that was out of the state's control that caused problems in the coalition. Soon enough, Sushant Singh Rajput, one of India's finest actors, was found dead in Mumbai. This led to an even bigger controversy in multiple angles. Number one, was the death a suicide or a murder? Number two, this murder also led to a drug-related connection to Bollywood's elites. Soon after that, Aryan Khan, Shah Rukh Khan's son, was arrested for possessing illegal substances on a yacht party. Concerns related to the law and order situation of Maharashtra popped up and something shocking happened. A car full of explosives was found outside Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani's residence in Mumbai. And when central authorities probed into this issue, it was found that Sachin Vaze, a police officer from Mumbai Police, was the actual owner of this car. Right before the election, Bollywood and other elites were also protesting the construction of a metro maintenance car shed in RA in Mumbai.
पेड़ काटने की बात कर रहे हैं, कावेरी रिवर सूख गई है पूरी तरह से पेड़ों की कमी की वजह से.
Now, RA is a forest and it is home to a lot of trees. This car shed would have led to the deforestation of about 2,700 trees, a minuscule percentage compared to the total area held by RA. This shed was important to the common man because look at the state of our roads, our metros and our railways. Every single thing is congested. It would have brought in that important decongestion effect. Sadly enough, after 2,100 trees were already cut, the Mahavikas Aghadi government called it off. All of these events somewhere led to the loss of whatever little public trust that the government had when it came to power. And when trust in the government was already at an all-time low, the people were given another shock. Eknath Shinde, a 4-time MLA from Maharashtra, was found missing along with 40 other MLAs. Where were they? Thousands of kilometers away in Guwahati. All of them claimed that the Shiv Sena was built on certain principles and the current Shiv Sena is straying away from those principles. The biggest evidence of this was siding with the INC and the NCP, both parties whose ideologies are starkly different from the Shiv Sena. Eknath Shinde then formed a new party claiming to be the real Shiv Sena, a faction called Balasahebanchi Shiv Sena. In Marathi, that means the Shiv Sena that belongs to Balasaheb Thackeray. That means the original Shiv Sena with its original tenets and ideals. And guess what? In 2019, Devendra Fadnavis had claimed "Mi punha yein," meaning I'll come back. And come back is exactly what he did. Devendra Fadnavis's BJP and Eknath Shinde's new Shiv Sena created another coalition, and this time they were the ones who formed the government. Eknath Shinde became the 20th Chief Minister of Maharashtra with Devendra Fadnavis as his Deputy Chief Minister. And as usual, out of habits, Ajit Dada switched sides once again and became the Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra for the 3rd time. This time, however, he too split from his old party, the NCP, and created a new faction. That party split into two. One faction, NCP Sharad Chandra Pawar, which was led by his uncle, and the other party, the NCP, which is now being led by him. This time we saw a third kind of coalition, one with BJP, a different kind of NCP, and a different kind of Shiv Sena. And sadly, the people of Maharashtra yet again got a government that they did not elect. Also, if all of this is messing with your head, this is just electoral politics. Do you know what's happening in the state of Maharashtra? Do you know what the people are going through? The Bruhan Mumbai Mahanagarpalika is Asia's largest municipal corporation, and over the last 5 years, it has been allocated heavy budgets. In the most recent allocation, they had 60,000 crores to spend, of which 47% is being used to pay salaries and pensions. Meaning just half of the money is being used for the development of the city of Mumbai. And what development development are we talking about? This is what our roads look like. This is what our railways are like in the rains. We often romanticize the spirit of Mumbai, but honestly, this spirit is just something that is sustaining decades of government failure. In just the first 6 months of 2024, we saw more than 430 officially recorded farmer suicides. Now, Maharashtra lies in the tropical region, meaning a large part of it faces drought in the harsh summers. Temperatures can go as high as 40 degrees Celsius when there is absolutely no water left for consumption or the irrigation of crops. This is when the people depend on the government. Vidarbha, one of Maharashtra's most neglected regions, it is also referred to as one of the most underdeveloped in comparison to Maharashtra's other regions according to a research paper funded by the Tata Group. The region has 70 to 80% of the entire state's mineral resources. It accounts for more than 65% of all power production. And in spite of that, it is vastly neglected to the degree that for more than 100 years, its people have been demanding separate statehood. Every single year, politicians and businessmen talk about the redevelopment of Dharavi, one of the world's largest slums which happens to be in Mumbai. And guess what? The first ever Dharavi redevelopment plan was mentioned in 1997, and 27 years later, Dharavi continues to be the same slum that it was. The Mumbai-Goa highway, which promises to cut the travel time between the two cities by more than 50%, has been delayed since 2016. Its cost overrun has already exceeded 2x. We see parties fight tooth and nail for the seat of Maharashtra, but never for Maharashtra. Tomorrow I go out and vote. And I just hope that this time around, irrespective of us getting what we voted for, let us at least get who we voted for. I hope you guys voted. If you learned something new, subscribe to the channel.